Hello, movie lovers. Bob for Bob's movie review here, and today I'd like to review for you a movie I just watched called Zack Snyder's Justice League. This one was sent to me for review by Warner Brothers. If you guys get a chance to check it out, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'll include more information, including affiliate links, purchase one down in the description. So this movie is kind of a remake of sorts of the Justice League movie, because Zack Snyder had started the movie, but he didn't finish it. And for many years, people were asking for Zack Snyder's original vision for the movie, because it was supposed to be quite a bit different, and they wanted the Snyder Cut. Everybody wanted the Snyder Cut. And, they decided to go ahead and make it a lot of reshoots, and I don't know if they used unused footage, or I don't know exactly what went into making it. But it is a little bit dangerous, because now people believe if you cry enough, they'll change your movie or remake your movie, or, it's just a little bit dangerous, because right after this came out, then people were restore the Snyderverse, and give us more Snyder DC movies. And so, does it ever become a point where people are happy? There's always going to be people who are unhappy, and you can't try to make everyone happy. It'll never happen. But they went back, like I said, and made this Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't remember the runtime on the original movie. The runtime on this one is 4 hours and 2 minutes. Why in the world they made this movie so long, I do not know. I always complain about long movies, and I just feel like an hour and a half is like the perfect runtime for a movie. If you have a really good story, 2 hours. Very rare occasion, 4 hours is enjoyable to watch, but it has to be pretty interesting. Now, when I watched this, I was kind of going back and forth on the 4 hour runtime, and I was like, wouldn't it almost made more sense as two movies? But they have this thing broke down into 6 parts, and then they have an epilogue at the end. So I guess you could almost, if you wanted to watch the first half, which is what I did. I split this up over 2 days. You could watch the first half, and while it wouldn't be satisfying as a full movie, then you could watch the second half a little later, or something along those lines. So it would be similar to two movies, right? So I started, as I was watching it, the first half I felt like was long. I started thinking, maybe it's not that long of a movie, because it is split up, and you could watch the first 3 parts, the first 4 parts, the 5 and 6, I can't remember how many parts it was, and the epilogue, as on a separate day, and really kind of break it up. So I'm not going to really knock this one at all for the runtime, even though I do feel like it is too long. Now, one of the complaints about the Justice League and really all the DC movies in this time was that they were trying to catch up to Marvel. They were just rushing. They weren't introducing the characters. You're just kind of thrown in there. You don't really know who they are. Now, of course, Batman and Superman are part of pop culture, and they've had countless movies and TV shows. Wonder Woman, is pretty well known, not to the extent of Batman and Superman, but then you have Aquaman and Cyborg, who I feel like are kind of not really known at all, or a lot less, and they're not really a part of pop culture, so the average viewers aren't going to know really much about them. And so I feel like in this they tried to really expand the characters and introduce them better, and get you to know them better. And they spend a lot of time just kind of on the individual characters, which is good and bad. It gives you more of a sense of knowing who they are and caring about them. When you just kind of oh, here's Aquaman, you don't really care. Same thing with Cyborg. He did have some story in the original cut, but they definitely added a lot more in this one. Now, to the added footage, I haven't seen the movie since it was originally released, and I definitely recognize some of the scenes, but I could not really figure out what was added and what was original, although a lot of it seemed different to me. Again, it's been several years since I saw it, so I can't really comment on the new added footage, except for that, to me, it all seemed seamless. Now, for the 4K, I thought the 4K looked great. It was a very good picture quality. Unfortunately, Zack Snyder wanted this in 4:3 format, which if you're not familiar is full screen. Now I never understand this gimmick, and it's a gimmick. Like I don't understand what the benefit is. The only thing I could think of is maybe it pulls your attention to the middle, but I feel most people's attention is already in the middle. And I would say as the movie goes on, it doesn't really bother me that much, you know, because you get used to it and you're not really thinking about it. But still, I would much rather have a 16:9 ratio, of a widescreen ratio, and it would look much better. And to me, I don't get the gimmick. The Blu-ray, also 4:3, but it didn't look as good. You know, obviously, very big difference in visual quality between the Blu-ray and 4K. I really enjoyed the 4K quality on this one. Now for the story. I actually enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I was not a fan of the original cut. I just feel like they do so much better in basically every aspect except runtime on this one. You know, it's a much more interesting movie. They do a lot more with the characters. You care a lot more about the characters. And even though the first half gets boring, the second half is really exciting. There is tons of action in this movie. It's definitely not lacking in the action department. And I find myself fairly surprised saying I did really enjoy the movie. I think the acting is good. I liked Ben Affleck more this time around. And, you know, I just feel like everything about it just seems so much better. The end, Superman says, "How'd you get my house back from the bank?" And Batman says, "Oh, I bought the bank." Couldn't you just buy the house from the bank? I don't get it, but no post-credits scenes or anything. For the ending on this movie, I feel like in a way it's a little disappointing because they set up all this stuff that could possibly come in the future for possible sequels and continuing the story, even though as far as I'm aware there's no plan to make a sequel or continue the story, and maybe they put it in there just in case, but it makes you feel like it's not really over, and if they're not making a sequel, it's disappointing to not end it, you know. And Zack Snyder should really know if it's over or not, right? I mean, he's not contracted, I don't think, to make any more movies, so why leave it open for a continuation? And I feel like, you know, we kind of get used to the characters and we start to like them, and you can't leave an opening for a movie that's not going to happen. Like, I understand that today in Hollywood anything is possible, like this movie itself, but you're going to leave people just wanting more, and if they don't get it, then it ends up being kind of disappointing. So overall, guys, I really enjoyed the movie. I think fans of the original movie will like this one. I think people who weren't fans of the original movie, they'd probably like this one too. Like I said, it's better in every way. If you guys were pushing for the Snyder Cut, I'm sure you'd like this one. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. I definitely think it's one to check out. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check out those videos, and I'll see you guys next time.